There are moments when it almost feels like they're back home in Syria. Halil Farwan used to own a plot of land with olive trees. Now, as a refugee in Jordan, what he and his family can pick on someone else's land helps keep them fed and clothed. What a family. Mahmoud, just 15, kind of shy. There in the red, that's 14-year-old Yamama, bookended by her best friends. The eldest child is Ahmed. He's 19, earning a bit of cash for the family as a mechanic. Mohammed is 17, always on the lookout for his siblings. And he wouldn't be caught boasting about it, but 10-year-old Adam's parents call him the smart one. His mother, Huda, so proud of her kids, including Nuh, as much swagger as an 8-year-old can muster. Halil, the protector, every bit the dad. The smiler of the family is Jibril. He's 6. And there she is, tiny 2-year-old Kauthar, the baby. This family has been in Jordan so long, Kauthar was born here, has never seen Syria. A big family of swelling pride and promise. Their lives in Dara, Syria were full. Modest means, but huge dreams.
مبسوطين، عندي بيت خاص إلي، عندي سيارة خاصة إلي، نطلع أكثر الأيام نزهات، سيرانات، ومعيشهم عيشة يعني جيدة، مبسوطين عايشين.
كل شيء. يعني البيوت، الحارة، قولي الأهل والهذا كلهم هون أهلي صفوا. أما يعني الذكريات اللي هناك.
And then came the siege of Dara. 2011 protests against the Assad regime started off so peacefully. But the army was relentless in shutting them down. One resident said it seemed like the government wanted to teach Syria a lesson by teaching Dara one.
قصف من المدفعية يروح بعض الأشخاص من أهلنا من جماعتنا. في نسيبنا كمان عملية استشهادية نتيجة القصف. آخر شيء قررت يعني إنه مشان الأطفال، مشان أولادي، إني أطلعهم خارج سوريا، لأن أصبحت يعني سوريا غير آمنة كاملة. هو هاي أصعب مرحلة كانت عندي بالنسبة إلي كشخص. أصعب مرحلة إنه البلد اللي كنت عايش فيها وذكرياتي إني أتركها. هي مرحلة صعبة جدا.
Home became Erbil, Jordan, near the Syrian border. It's not a refugee camp, it's a rented apartment. They wanted the dignity of that and the togetherness.
I think once you put yourself in the place of the Syrian who now finds themselves as refugees, even accepting that they are refugees is really difficult. Zainab.
For 5 years, the UNHCR's Aoife McDonnell has worked in Jordan with refugees.
How are you getting on?
What never ceases to surprise her is how hard it can all be.
How long have you been here?
4 years.
4 years. Yes. People have to remember these people came from lives not unlike our own. They had apartments, villas, lands which they could live off. To find themselves crossing a border, now referred to as a refugee, is a really difficult thing for a family and for an individual to accept. What we're seeing, unfortunately, is that the refugee life is full of disappointment. It doesn't just end with your internal displacement, which most Syrians went through, also your refugee life in the host country, and waiting almost in limbo if you have been accepted or not.
Halil led them safely out of Syria, and he knows their journey isn't done yet. The family have saved every Jordanian dinar they can to buy what they need to look their best. One glance at Jibril's little feet, no question, they all need shoes. There's a long-awaited meeting with Canadian officials coming up. Halil thinks it's a make-or-break moment. Only if it goes well, they have a chance to get to Canada. Back at the apartment, with a few minutes alone, the older Farwan kids have time to think about what's coming. Yamama asks if wearing the hijab will make her stand out in Canada. Will she make friends? Can she bear to leave her best ones behind?
حزن عليهم إنه رح نتركهم وما عاد نشوفهم إلا فترات طويلة.
Slowly, shyly, they are trying out their English.
I go to school every day.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
11, 12, 30, 80, 90, 20. No.
Good.
يعني هم بيحكوا لنا هون الأساتذة والطلاب بيحكوا لنا إنه يعني غاد حلو، وليش أول شيء كنا مترددين، ليش مترددين يعني، واطلعوا في غاد يعني إن أصدقاء يعني بيقولوا كندا حلوة وفيها شغلات كثير حلوة، واطلعوا لا تترددوا.
بدك تشيلي واحد كغرسة أو شجرة من مكان تزرعيها بمكان ثاني، أكيد في بيكون حس بخوف، حياة جديدة. ما فيش إنه شلون بدنا نقدر نعيش هناك ونقدر نتأقلم هناك.
سمعنا أن جوها يعني بارد كمان إذا بقول عن الأجواء.
هم صحيح جوهم بارد بس قلوبهم دافئة.
What the kids know for sure is that being in a big family means there's always someone to play with, no matter where you live. It makes adapting that much easier. Of course, it gets all the more complicated for the grown-ups. The most quiet soul has been, it seems, Huda, for good reason. Leaving the region means leaving her mom and beloved siblings behind.
والله أكيد يعني حزن، يعني أكثر شيء أمي هون وأخوتي وخواتي كلهم هون، يعني موصيهم ببعضهم، موصي أخوتي بأمي وخواتي.
The prospect of finally finding safety in Canada should be such a relief, but it's also wrenching. But as they sat here, they had no idea what else was about to happen. That crucial meeting with Canadians they've been waiting for, buying clothes for, dreaming of, Halil just learned there's a problem. The meeting's been cancelled. It's early the next morning, and the UNHCR office in Amman isn't near open yet. But Halil is there. He's been told to appear to deal with whatever problem has cropped up. In that little plastic bag, every document that matters to him. He almost never lets go of this. He hasn't slept much, and he waits and waits for someone to explain what's happened with his case. He alone in his worry. It takes hours, but the UNHCR staff finally come to get him to meet in their office. The head of Canadian cases is with him. The meeting is confidential, no cameras allowed. Eventually they emerge. It was, it seems, just the tiniest of clerical errors, one digit in his case number written down incorrectly. According to the UNHCR's Karen Whiting, all is back on track.
The hope and possibility to move their whole family, 10 individuals, to Canada to have a new start, and then to sort of have that possibly disappear can obviously be quite stressful. But I'm glad we were able to sort things out so quickly, and that that now hopefully he goes through to the next step, and then hopefully is able to move onwards.
Halil can't keep the good news in anymore. His first call is to the worrying Huda back at the apartment.
الو اهلا مرحبا مبروك 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 كان في خطأ بالرقم الوثيقة تبع المفوضية مع رقم الهجرة الدولية. الثانيات وافقنا وإن شاء الله بجوز بكرة أو اليوم يتصلوا علينا إن شاء الله. انبسطوا وكيفوا.
The long-awaited meeting with Canadian officials is back on. The whole family now ready for their interview. And yes, those are the new clothes they bought just for this moment. Those precious shoes.
اليوم الواحد بكون عنده عيد بكون لابس أكيد ثياب جديدة ونظيفة وبكون جاهز للقاء هذا ويعتبر اليوم هو فعلا عيد.
Our cameras can't go any further. It's night by the time they're back, a bit exhausted by the process and the scrutiny. Is it all really worth it?
طبعا كندا بتستاهل التعب.
They think it went well, but there are more interviews to come. For now, it's off to the apartment to wait. When we come back, a family in limbo. When will Canada call? In the days that follow, the Farwans use a small camera to record family scenes. Here, the moment Halil tells them the good news, Canada said yes. Of course, the reality of a welcome from Canada is a goodbye to family here. In the moments before takeoff from Jordan, they send us a text. They have only now been told where their new home will actually be. Alberta. Actually, Lethbridge. What you should know is that this is the very first time any of them have ever been on a plane. The movies and games seem the best part.
هبطنا الآن بسلامة الله في مطار تورونتو الدولي ودرجة الحرارة خارج الطائرة ناقصة.
After an exhausting journey, the flight that was filled with Syrian refugees empties into an airport hotel near Toronto and a night's rest. They spot our crew.
Are you tired?
All 10 finally here, tired but happy. Jibril's still wearing his new shoes, looking as tired as he seems to feel. And Adam can't keep his eyes open, spent the whole flight playing video games. Khalil and a few of the kids stopped to briefly take in where exactly this mysterious Lethbridge they're heading to is in Canada.
أهم شيء يكون فيها شجرة زيتون ما فيها.
The most important thing to find olive trees and he doesn't care.
والسفرة يعني من الأردن لكندا يعني صحيح في تعب وفي إرهاق وفي انتظار بس أملي كلياته بهون إن نوصل على كندا ونبني الحياة الجديدة هاي. السكن مش مهم عندي يعني بعتبر إن كندا كلها حلوة وبس يستاهل واحد يعيش فيها ويبني مستقبل لأولاده فيها.
It's late. Khalil takes the family inside to their rooms to spend their first night in Canada. Tomorrow, it's Lethbridge. What's ahead will be hard, but they're safe and together, can always lean on each other and their memories of the land they left behind. Adrienne Arsenault, CBC News, Toronto.